people are using something to put them to sleep. So I'm using these to put me to sleep. And people will say everything, oh, well, what about I can have some melatonin, or I can have some quetiapine, or what about I have some 5-HTP? So, but they're looking for something, or alcohol, or some cannabis, or I'll go for my opiates and my benzos. So there'll be lots of things that people will do to put them to sleep. And I guess what we're trying to do then is we want people to be able to get to sleep. And that's the subtle difference, is that if I can teach my brain how to get to sleep, then I can do that anywhere, anytime. And I've got good skills around how that happens. Physically tired, mentally tired, and well fed. We also need some morning sun. That's 4. So we need to take care of our bodies really well. We need to try and eat healthily, and that's hard when we're depressed or anxious or we're using some sort of substance. We need to start to get into some routines about some exercise and when we eat, and have a bit of focus in our day. So it's quite nice because it's sort of quite holistic. So this is how I teach my clients about sleep. So we don't want to reward our brain for keeping us awake, because that's what we do when we go to the supermarket and have a cigarette and have a drink and, you know, Skype someone on the other side of the world and do our tax. So but there, we need to get to there, and we've got to, unfortunately, the way we're made, which isn't that well, we have to go through each of the stages to get down there. So for me, that area, and looks like a big sausage, that area in there is the key to sleep. Because that's the area where we need to help people learn how to wind down, to reach relaxation. How do I calm my brain to be able to drop down into sleep? And for me, there's a few strategies. We use sensory modulation a lot at our work, and I guess a lot of what we probably do to get to sleep is what we would call sensory modulation. So in here, what we do know from research is if I can calm my body down, then my brain will follow. I might play with the dog a little bit. I might fold my washing. So I'm sort of doing things, but I'm not particularly busy. It's all pretty casual. I quite like processed things, obviously, knitting and baking and folding, washing and things like that. And I have this cut-off time. So I go to bed really late. I'm about a 5 or 6 hour sleeper. Well, average sleep 7 to 9 hours. Average is about 8.2. So about here, I'm about 9 o'clock that I'm starting to wind down. That's just me. I go to bed at like 11:30, so that's okay. So I'm starting to sort of do these things, and that's my wind down time. And that, because I'm physically calming my body, and I'm probably giving it a break into my parasympathetic nervous system, my calm nervous system. So I'm starting to calm down, and my brain then becomes a little bit calmer too. So what I might start to do for me is I write lists. I've taken time to wind down. I've given myself a little routine, and it doesn't have to be that complex. My friend Susan, she sits in the lounge and reads her book in dim lighting and has a cup of Sweet Dreams tea, and then she gets into bed, she reads for a couple more minutes, she goes to sleep. But we've all got a bit of a wind down routine. So say you're on a prescription medication, say you're on Zopiclone. We know Zopiclone is sort of a 10-day course for insomnia is one of the things that it's been researched for. So I'd put it into your, just put those into your routine at night. So if I need to take my Zopiclone half an hour before I go to bed, or my quetiapine an hour before I go to bed, then actually in my wind down time I just pop that in there, and then still just enhance it with everything else I'm going to do. Someone has a glass of wine at night as their fabulous strategy to get to sleep. That night they will get more light sleep. So light sleep will become really long. So they'll get more light sleep, more likely to wake up. They'll get less deep sleep and less REM. So your body's not really healing or laying down memories that well. Most people that have sleep issues that wake in the night and see the time go, oh man, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I'll never get back to sleep, I don't know what I'll do, and I've got to go to work tomorrow, and now they're up here. So all the sleep researchers would say you don't look at the time, you set a sleep time and you set a wake time as well. And if you haven't woken up, if the alarm hasn't gone off, then it's not time to wake up yet.